Okay, so ganun yung mangyari doon sa ano. So again, pag may reversal of the dishonored note, it's not only the principal of the note that will be added or that will be revert back to the AR, but also the interest of it at the maturity. Okay. Now here we comes, since we are done with the note interest with bearing with the promissory note with interest bearing or with interest. Now we are going to deal with the non-interest bearing note or zero interest bearing note. Okay, at this time, this particular note without interest is to be accounted or is to be measured at their present value or amortized value. Then afterwards, we are going to amortize whatever is the difference of that. Then it would be good to demonstrate that in terms of having illustration rather than having this text. Like if I read this one, if I discuss this one to you, it will not make sense, or sometimes the process of our brain will not be effective. Uh, if that is the way on how to do that. But again, the more effective way of doing that is to go into the illustration. Now let's have this illustration with no interest bearing note. Okay. But in this case, ang una nating i-discuss is interest pa rin siya, interest bearing note, pero yung kanyang interest is realistic interest rate. In other words, yung interest niya is halos there's no material difference pagdating doon sa interest sa market. Okay, by the way, hindi muna natin i-demonstrate yung ano ha, no interest bearing note ha. Dito muna tayo sa interest bearing note in order to demonstrate ano yung kaibahan ng interest bearing note na mayroong realistic interest. Yung sinasabi natin kanina is with realistic interest rate, yon kanina yon demonstrate natin. Pero i-demonstrate natin ulit. But at this time, yung ating interest is long term. Okay. Sometimes the interest has having we need to have some consideration of the interest kung ito bang interest na nakalagay dito is realistic or hindi. Kasi we are dealing now with a note that is long term. Ibig sabihin, that will be collected or that will mature after 12 months. Now let's have this case 1. Okay, but before that, I would like to have a heads up. At this time, we are dealing with a non-trade notes receivable. As I said earlier, notes receivable can only be considered trade if that is in connection with the sales or ordinary course of business. But at this time, this is not. Okay, let's have this case 1. January 1, 2026, ABC Manufacturing sold a piece of equipment costing 800,000 accumulated depreciation. So at this time, what is sold is not an inventory. It is an equipment. So therefore, whatever notes receivable arise from here is not considered as trade. Okay. So, in our presentation, the 12 months will matter kasi it's not anymore the normal operating cycle is not anymore applicable in here. Okay. The question now, kung pasok siya yung kanyang maturity within 12 months, then it is a current. Pero pag hindi 12 months, it's more than 12 months, then it is a non-current. Okay? We apply that rule. Why? Because this one, the notes receivable is non-trade. Okay. Ang ibinenta dito na piece of equipment is costing 800,000. May accumulated depreciation siya na 450. So if we're going to compute the book value of that, is that relevant? Maybe yes, maybe no. Okay. That's 350. This is the book value. Okay. Ang na-receive ng company is 100,000 plus the 400. So total niya na-receive 100 plus 400 equals to 500. Minus the 350, now we have a gain of 150,000. Okay. Ang sabi dito, magjuju yung kanyang notes receivable on December 31, 2028. And we started on December 1, 2026. So that would be 3 years. Therefore, this particular interest is, since more than 12 months siya, non-current assets. Okay? Bakit? Again, bakit in-apply natin yung 12 months? Kasi this is not arising from trade or ordinary course of business. Now, let's move forward. The interest thereon, notes payable is payable annually. every December. So, ibig sabihin, every December, you are going to compute an interest and you are going to receive, okay, the interest. The prevailing interest rate is 15%. The interest rate in here is 15%. So, therefore, they're equal. So, that's why it said that the interest in here is realistic. Okay. But anyway, you have to wait. If there is any difference, then that could be unrealistic. But you need to read the whole problem if whatever is the declaration in there. Okay. Okay. So what would be the entry? That's the question. So first is entry. Of course, we are certain that that's 100,000 that receive cash. Second, that there's a notes receivable received 40,000. Remember that our notes receivable in here or the promissory note is interest bearing. So therefore, we simply follow the face value of the notes receivable. Okay. We're not dealing here, we are not dealing, hindi ito, hindi pa ito yung notes receivable na walang interest. Meron itong interest. Okay. Sinabi ng problem na mayroong 450 na accumulated depreciation. So, yung accumulated depreciation, since ibinenta mo na yung equipment, so, kailangan mo na yung i-close yung 450,000. At the same time, yung equipment mo, i-close mo din. Yung accumulated depreciation equipment, accumulated depreciation kasi, the normal balance of that is on credit. So, para magiging maano siya, ma-eliminate, ilalagay natin sa debit. The same time, yung equipment, nakalagay yung normal balance on the debit side. So, pag ma-eliminate siya, kailangan ilagay na siya sa credit. And in here, another credit, we have gain on sale. Okay. Okay. So, as to the computation, so you can see that I think this is repeated already because I have already presented that. So, we have the 500, we have carrying value, so we have the gain on sale. Okay. So what now? What's the next entry? The payment of the interest. So you receive the interest, cash 60,000. How did they compute? Ganun lang, 15% times 400. Since that is good for 1 year, there's no need for us to prorate that to the number of days. Okay, again ha, no need to prorate kasi 1 year na yan. So, ganun din yon the same way, yung entry on 2027. Pagdating sa 2028, since nag-mature na yung promissory note, hindi na siya only interest lang yung marireceive mo. Hindi lang yung 60,000 but also the principal of the notes receivable. That is total of 460,000. So, ganon. Okay? You can separate the entry for the interest but still, they are at one time received. Okay? So, okay. That way, as you can see, now, the issue now is how do we present that in the balance sheet? Since that is in long term. So accordingly, the notes receivable shall be shown as non-current assets. Bakit? Kasi lumabas siya sa 12 months yung kanyang maturity. Okay. Pero, pagdating sa December 2021, 2027, since mag-due na siya within 12 months na, kasi mag-due siya on December 31, 2028. So in other words, at the date or at the point of time of December 31, 2027, mag-due, nagpo-fall na siya sa within 12 months na maturity. So therefore, on December 31, 2027, ang kanyang presentation ay current na. Okay? I hope that you get that. So, bakit doon sa 2026 is ano siya? Non-current? Kasi at the time of the reporting period, 2 years pa siya bago makolekta. Samantala, doon sa December 31 na reporting period, 2027, within 1 year na lang siya makukolekta. So that's why it's considered as current. Okay, now we have another illustration that is also a long-term note. However, at this time, wala siyang interest. Okay, no interest bearing note ang tawag dito. Okay, now let's have this illustration. January 1, 2026, ABC Manufacturing sold a piece of land 800. So, ganun pa rin. Tapos, ang piece of equipment, then accumulated. So, we have computed already the book value for that. The company received 100,000 and an interest-bearing note is 400. So, we just converted our previous illustration into non-interest bearing. In this case, still the prevailing interest rate is 15%. Okay, so mayroong prevailing interest rate. So, now, be careful in here because there's a big difference in here. in dealing doon sa interest-bearing note at saka sa non-interest-bearing note. Okay. So at the same time, this one is a non-current ha kasi after more than 2 years pa siya mag-due, after 2 years pa siya mag-due from the reporting date of December 31, 2026. Okay. So ito yung nangyari at this time. Okay, again, our entry is ganun pa rin, nandun yung cash. Ang notes receivable natin, ilagay pa rin natin at 400,000. Although that is a non-interest. Wala itong interest sa, okay. We know that it has to be discounted. Okay, okay. Then our credit is the 800,000. However, at this time, there is an introduction of in discount on notes receivable. Question, how did we compute that? Okay. Okay, how did we compute that? Okay, ito yung pagko-compute dito. Okay, yung promise, yung ano, yung 400,000 mo is i-discount yan. In other words, kukunin, kasi ang 400,000, this is a future value. Tawag dyan. Okay? Future value after 3 years. Okay. So, yun yung kabuuan na amount mo, na amount na marireceive mo. Now, in the concept of the present value, yung future value is different from the present values. In other words, kailangan mo i-compute yung present value. And how do we do that? We have to use yung tinatawag natin na present value factor. That is given in the problem. Sorry. Wala pala sa problem, but you can compute that yung present value factor. But this time is given siya. Okay? Sometimes the other problem will give that, but it's easy to compute the present value factor. Sometimes meron naman table na ginagawa. Okay. If ever na hindi given yung present value factor, kasi ang tawag dito natin is annuity due at once. Sorry, hindi siya annuity, due at once. Ibig sabihin, yung the whole 400,000 will due at once after 3 years. Once lang, isang beses lang. So, ang computation dyan and how to get this present value factor is just ganito lang. 1 over 1 plus 15% tapos raised to 3. Okay. Ang result dyan is 0.6575. Okay, you just make an allowance of 4 decimal points para medyo hindi malayo yung answer mo doon sa correct answer talaga, yung accuracy. But again, don't worry about that. Basta yung ano lang is 4 decimal points yung recommended. Okay, so ngayon, na-compute mo na yung present value factor. Whatever is the difference between this face value and the present value is what we call discount on notes receivable. So ito yung nilalagay dito, yung discount. Okay. Okay, so because of that, since iba na yung value ng notes receivable mo at saka mayroon kang given na value, 'di ba? Ang ang computation ng ganito yung na-receive mo kasi. Na-receive mo is cash, tapos meron kang present value na note, itong 63. Therefore, the total amount that you receive is 363. And you are going to compare that kung magkano yung carrying value of the equipment that you have given. So, therefore, yung gain mo na lang is 13. Kasi at this time, lower na yung value na na-receive mo. Why? It is because yung natanggap mo na note is non-interest bearing note. Wala kang ma-receive na interest. So, yun. So, again, yung presentation of the note, so that will matter. Halimbawa, ganun pa rin yung ganun pa rin yung kanyang presentation na ang 2026 is siya long term or non-current. Sa 2027 December 31 is current na siya. Okay. Now, in the next video we are going to discuss paano ba natin ina-amortize ito kasi medyo may complexity when it comes to the entries on the later dates after the initial journal entry or initial recognition.